Hi, welcome to this session. Today we will try to learn what design systems, accessibility, and AI have in common, how they are connected, and how we use them in our day-to-day work. Before we go further in this topic, let's just first understand what a design system really is. A design system is a living library of reusable components, standards, and guidelines that ensure consistency and efficiency across digital products. It serves as a single source of truth, uniting designers, developers, um, testers, and helping them to collaborate and use shared UI elements, design principles, and code snippets. The key components of a design system would have a component library, which contains ready-to-use elements like buttons, inputs, and navigation bars, style guides, which define color, typography, spacing, and icons, design principles and patterns, which provide guidance on usage, interactions, and layouts, documentation, explaining system rules to maintain uniformity across teams. To this piece, I would also add an accessibility guide that would be used to understand what accessibility principles and rules apply to these individual components, right? The benefits of having a design system is that you have a consistent, cohesive user experience. You would also bring in efficiency because it would speed up your design and development time because the elements are just reused. They're ready-made elements which have all the goodness in them, the design aspects, the development code aspects. It also has your accessibility baked in. And in that case, you help with efficiency. Also scalability. So it supports product growth without design and code drift. In short, a design system is an evolving toolkit that replaces static style guides, enabling teams to build unified digital experiences at scale. Now, digital accessibility is deeply connected with AI-assisted programming or development. Better systems are created with the accessibility first approach, ensuring that accessibility needs are met early in the system lifecycle. We all know it's best to have accessibility baked in at the early phases of the system lifecycle. The idea of using a design system that has accessibility baked within it is the latest and the best approach to creating reliable digital products. Now, if within design systems, accessibility is baked into components, then there would be no need to worry about fitting in a feature later, right? Initially, if we take care of it, we're not going to worry about having to do that at later phases of the system's life cycle. All projects which use the accessible design system will automatically be accessible. Now build accessibility one time within a design system and it will scale. So AI-assisted development software can be directed to use these design systems and create components that would be intrinsically accessible. So you have your design system in place within which you put in your accessibility rules, accessibility requirements. They're baked into your components within your design system. And this is taught to your software, which is used to create components. Now, we're talking about the AI coders, the AI coding systems that will leverage this design system that you have. You have to connect it to these these software, which are the AI software, and the AI software would pick your design systems and use the components within as you instruct and guide it. Design systems, they make AI coding quicker, more consistent, and result in high quality products. Okay. AI agents don't already come equipped with the ability to automatically use your design systems. Now, they need to be guided by you and connected to your design system to leverage and use the common components within the system. Let's now quickly go through an example of a design system. What I have here open is the Carbon design system. Now, this is a design system from IBM. It's open source design system for products and digital experiences. Um, with the IBM design language as its foundation, the system consists of working code, design tools and resources, human interface guidelines, and a vibrant community of contributors. So, if you want to come in here and contribute to a design system, this is an open source design system from IBM. So, let's just quickly look at it. And what we see here on the screen is a little diagram which will tell you basically a little bit about um, the Carbon design system. You have a design, development, and migrate facilities over here. Okay. Um, you can also learn about carbon, what is carbon, what the carbon ecosystem entails. And then there are a lot of component libraries um, that designers and developers can leverage and build with, right? So we're talking about things like a Figma kit, sketch kits, carbon React components, carbon angular components, carbon view components, and carbon svelte components, carbon web components. So you can even contribute here. So you can send feedback, you can send ideas, designs, just anything that you think can add to this and you want to contribute, you can do that here as well. Let's look at the menu here and see what they have. So what is Carbon? It says Carbon is IBM's open source design system for products and digital experiences. With the IBM design language as its foundation, like we read before, the system consists of working code, design tools and resources, human interface guidelines, and a vibrant community of contributors. Okay, very interesting. So you can come here and look into this, and there is an introduction here, a little video which will tell you everything about this design system. Very interesting. Okay, I was a little curious to see what accessibility features they have within the Carbon design system from IBM. And they do have guidelines. They have an entire accessibility section that will explain it all for us. Just so we know what these other tabs are telling us is that designers, developers, collaborators, you have marketing people, um, even people who would want to migrate systems, all of them can use this Carbon design system as the source of truth, right? So accessibility is built in. So it says IBM firmly believes, that web and software experiences should be accessible for everyone. Carbon is committed to following and complying with accessibility best practices. So we do have like accessibility built into the components that are within this design system, which is a very good thing. So this is what we mean when we say if accessibility can be built into the design system, then when we guide the AI software, which automatically creates the code for us, we can basically help it by guiding them to use the design system that we've decided on, and we can show it whatever it needs to navigate through the design system to create very robust, reliable components, right? So here you see that there are they've given us a very nice write-up about the different kinds of disabilities for blind users, low vision users, colorblind users, and also some visual deficiencies and blurred and tunnel vision. There's a very good example here. It's a very good learning document as well for accessibility, right? So they have all of this written out really clearly. This is something that you can come and read on their website. Let's see what they have for color. Um, so visual impairments can include low vision, color blindness, and complete blindness. That's correct. Carbon components are designed to accommodate an entire spectrum of visual impairment, though designers still need to exercise diligence to ensure that the components are used correctly, right? So you need to be able to guide correctly. Um, so you have color contrast, low vision, tools, and resources. Yeah, so it does take care of your color contrast to a WCAG AA standard, which is for standard text, it's 4.5:1, large text 3:1, and UI components 3:1, right? This is your contrast ratio that we're talking about. All right. So they do take care of that. There is a very important aspect of not relying on color alone to convey meaning. That's been taken care of for all of these different color-blind situations. And when you're designing, okay, so here they have it that when designing with color, it might be helpful to use a color-blind simulator to review visibility of content. So if you're working with Figma, they recommend the Stark plugin, which is good. And so you have some tools within their library, things like high contrast Chrome plugin, Stark Figma plugin, color contrast tool. Okay. And they have some resources. They have the WCAG guidelines. They have accessibility checklist from IBM, W3C low vision requirements, IBM equal access tools. Very well laid out. So this is for your designers, for your developers. They have your HTML best practices. So how do you use semantic HTML to use clear language, correct? Um, Use meaningful text labels, just everything about accessibility. So they have taken care of most of the things. How do you design accessible data tables? Very important. And it's very correctly and well laid out here. You can see the summary, you can see the caption, you can see the table headers, which with the scope and everything written out correctly. So if you click on the show more, you'll be able to see the entire table. Very good. Then you have your multimedia text alternatives, audio alternatives. So you have your video and you have your VTT files, the track element in place. So the code is correct here again. So you have all of your semantic code. They also use ARI roles and landmark roles correctly in here. So this is here as well. And then there are some CSS best practices to keep in mind. This is good. Okay. And then you have the keyboard accessibility. So keyboard accessibility enables users who rely on or prefer using keyboard to use your product, right? So all interactive content and elements should include keyboard functionality. And so they have an entire keyboard accessibility. Like they have the focus indicators. When you tab, you should be able to see those. There's a navigation order in place. They have their landmarks, so you can go through all the regions on the page and check. Very good. So they do have accessibility built into these products, and so that's why these kind of design systems work really well. This is an open source design system, so you can go and freely use it as well. and understand what different patterns. So if you go in further in, you can see the different components that they have here on the left side. So all the different components are listed here. They have the patterns listed here. And then there are community assets. So they have some overview and domain guidance, data visualizations. So you have simple charts and your spatial flow charts, etc. The dashboards and all of this information. So yeah, this is a very good read. I mean, whether you are going to incorporate a design system or not, just coming here and reading all of this information is very, very good. Okay, now let's look at the component section within the carbon design system. And over here, when you click on overview, you get an idea of what kinds of components to expect. So you can see over here, there are examples of all the components that they offer within this design system. And it's huge, it's elaborate. They have so many things. They have things like accordions, AI label, breadcrumbs, buttons, checkboxes, code snippets, contained lists, content switcher, data table, data picker, drop down, file uploader, form, inline loading, link, list, loading, menu, buttons, modals, multi-select, notification number, pagination, pop over, progress bar, progress indicators, radio buttons, search, select, etc. There are so many here. Tabs, tool tips, toggle tips, tree views, etc. There is also another tab over here within components, which is an accessibility status tab. So manual and automated tests assess the accessibility of carbon components against established standards. So they do have a tag status for each of these components, and which could be that they are tested, they are partially tested, manually tested, they're not available or not tested. So it's very clearly laid out and written out in all of these component documentation what the status of accessibility is within here, whether you need to actually manually go in and test or these components have been pre-tested. If you're going to be making changes to it, it is always recommended to retest and make sure that it's working. But if you're going to be using the components as is, then they are already pre-tested, they have passed the tests manually, and otherwise you don't need to really go and test it again, and this makes your process faster as well. So you can see that it's all written out and given here. So let's check the accordion component and see what they have. So they have a usage, style, code, accessibility, right? We're concerned with accessibility, so we come here, we see what are the different keyboard interactions, space and enter keys. So you use either the space and the enter key to expand or collapse accordions as always, and that's coded in here for you, so you don't have to do the work. Interactive elements within expanded accordions integrate into the tab order automatically. So very, very well done, very clear, very nicely done design system. So this is one of the best design systems that you could be using. This is open source again. Before we wind up with this session on design systems, I've identified this design system repository that has a number of design systems listed, right? So you have listed, they have listed by alphabetical order from A to Z, and you have so many right there, okay? So you can click on and see what are these different design systems and understand better how they would be used. this is amazing. There's so many different design systems that you could go to. And this is a very good space and very good website. It's called designsystemsrepo.com. And this is what you would find. You'd also find over here some articles. So there is a complete guide about design systems right here that you can read and get a further idea about design systems. Now, I can't give you more details because of the limitation of the video. Also, that there is so much of information I'm just pointing out, and so you can go and fetch the information that you need. They have articles, they have tools as well, and these are like different kinds of tools that designers and developers can use to incorporate into the design systems. There are books. So there are some really good books on design systems that you could read. Excellent. It's a very good resource. This website has got all the information you would need for design systems. So there are talks on design systems. So you have some webinars here, which are very good. The latest AXCON webinar has a lot of AI and design system talk. So yeah, you can go read through these design system webinars and understand more. It's very good. Yeah. And to a little bit about this website, it says, when I joined the QuickBooks design system last year, I started collecting resources for my own personal reference. Who is the writer of this website? I'm not sure who this person is, but it's made by Jad Limkako. I don't know how you say your name, but yeah, wonderful, lovely website with a lot of information. Somebody's shared their knowledge, which is great. So it's a very nice resource. Please you make use of this resource. I'm going to stop this video, and I hope I've been able to pass some knowledge and you've got to learn a little bit. Thank you so much.